Everybody, we're here with Royce the 5'9". I'm Reggie from Ambrosia for Heads. Royce, what's going on, man?
What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Cool, man. So you're hitting Dilla weekend next weekend, performing on Friday.
Yes.
So we want to talk about that. How does it feel, man, to be celebrating Dilla 10 years after his passing and honoring his legacy?
I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to honor his legacy, that he's not still here. He made such an impact on hip-hop early, especially early on in my career. He was like one of the guys that just in Detroit that we looked up to growing up as far as the music business was concerned. Just solid through and through, just so talented, you know what I mean? He definitely wasn't one of those guys who, after his unfortunate passing that people finally caught on to, they knew it when he was alive. Yeah. You know, so it's just surreal, man, like celebrating, you know, after the fact. But the fact that everybody worked so diligently to keep his legacy alive is great.
Unbelievable.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so performing in Miami for Dilla, you know, it's great, man. It's great because he was around at a time where Detroit didn't really get paid attention as far as music, as far as hip hop was concerned. Yeah. You know, so that's a cool thing.
Matter of fact, you know, Detroit's been a powerhouse since '95, now 20 years or so. Yeah. And Dilla worked on that Far Side album, which is kind of his first big international look. How did it feel like being, that's when you first got started too, how did it feel seeing someone from the D come up like that?
I mean, it was great. We were all rooting for him. I don't really remember a time where there were Dilla haters, you know, and Detroit is like kind of a hub for that sometimes. It's like a kind of a hub for negativity sometimes. It's like a lot of the negativity that comes out of my city gets kind of paid attention to. But with Dilla, man, everybody loved Dilla. Always was rooting for him, you know, so it was always a great thing. I definitely always looked up to him, always. And he showed me love from jump.
Yeah, you guys worked together 2000 on Let's Grow?
Yeah.
Was that the first time you guys worked together?
Yeah, that was the first time we worked together, and that was actually the only song that we did together that came out. But we did plenty of other songs. We did like 4 or 5 other songs. I went over his crib and recorded for like a whole weekend. Actually, Common was there. Common was there up in the living room while I was downstairs in the basement recording. That was like real cool. My first time meeting him.
That's crazy.
Legendary. Then I ended up working with him later.
Yeah. On
the Prime album, so that was cool.
What was it like working with Dilla? What was this process like?
Really just letting you do what you do. You know what I mean? He had like a lot of input during the mix process, which I think is really smart. When you're working with an artist, you kind of want to, it's kind of, you going in with like an empty canvas. Everything is blank, and then you just kind of let the artist get all of their thoughts out. Don't really mess with them. And then when it comes time to pull everything together in the mix, that's where the producer kind of comes in, and I think he takes that approach. And that was pretty cool. So once he came in, his presence in the mix just kind of brought everything together. From the drops to just, you know, the song structure, taking this out, adding that. Like, he's genius at that.
Dope. So what made him different than other producers you've worked with?
I think it was his, just sonically, he's able to achieve a sound that I don't think I really heard. I've heard it imitated. I don't think I've ever heard it quite duplicated. You know, and I don't know what it is, where it comes from, like what it is. I don't know if it's something he does when he samples, because I never actually saw him make a beat. It's kind of like when you listen to Dre, you listen to Dre's mixes, and you just listen to his sound overall. And you kind of know it's Dre when you hear it, but you don't really know what, same way with Premier. You know, these guys have signature sounds, and you don't know what the hell they do to come up with this sound, but you know it's just them. And it was the same way with Dilla. Like, I never really heard that shit duplicated. But I definitely heard it imitated. He got like this thing where, how would I describe Dilla, man? Like, it's like this offbeat thing that he does with the drum sometimes. Like, he does this thing with the drum. It's almost like doing it with the flow. Like if you rhyming like, and then you just go, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just switch up the flow just for a minute. I hear him do shit like that with the drums. And I remember being at the open mics, and when he does those drops with the drum, everybody just go crazy. And I never heard really, you know, that shit done again. I don't really know how to describe it, man. Like, I don't think you can describe Dilla. Like, I don't think you can, man.
Yes.
It's that abstract.
Well, we want to take some questions from the fans, man. Is it true you gave out your phone number to people?
Yeah, I gave out my phone number to people. I don't see what's wrong with that, man. It's like a lot of people on Twitter like, yo, man, why are you doing that? It's just my phone number.
So you down to do it now? Like,
yeah, call somebody. I hit this kid Evan. I hit this kid Evan and told him that I was gonna call him. So
you want to tell people what your number is so that you know?
Yeah, it's 313-789-0509. That's my number. 313-789-0509. I'm calling Evan.
All right, cool.
Right now. See what Evan got to say. This should be cool, right?
Yeah.
Because I know I texted him and he was like, man, no fucking way.
Yeah. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for him, we got a question from a guy named Adebayo Ibrahim. Said, who are your greatest influences in hip hop, and what's your take on rap music on the mainstream today?
I got influences on different levels. You know, I'm lyrically influenced by some people, and then I got people who influence me on the business end. And then I got people who influence me across the board. Like, I'll forever be influenced by Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is always going to be an inspiration to me. Number one, because I grew up listening to him. And I kind of study the way that he moves and some of his decisions, good decisions in a row. I kind of respect that, you know, at the age that I am now. You know, you get to a point, man, where you mature a little bit and then you just start wanting to you make so many fucked up decisions, you just decide, you know what, man, I want to do things right now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do things right from a business perspective. I don't want to be just a reckless artist out here or just a reckless rapper out here. And Jay-Z seems to really have it together, man. Him, Marshall, of course, my man Eminem. I'm always inspired by him lyrically and from a business perspective. And then I look to a lot of the young cats now. You know, like, I like King Los a lot. King Los really inspires me lyrically. Anything that he does, guest appearances. I like a lot of battle rappers. I like Goods. I like Charlie Clips. I like Loaded Lux. You know, I like a lot of those guys. They inspire me lyrically. I mean, I can name people. I can name people all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I'm inspired by Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. You know, all the juggernauts, all the guys who are, you know, of a higher echelon lyrically.
Okay. Nate Kulikowski says, when will you release the full Rockin' with the Best track? The track you and Preem did together.
Oh, me and Preem?
Yeah.
I don't know if I will. You know, we kind of submitted that track to ESPN for them to kind of do whatever they wanted to do with it. I didn't actually know what they were going to do with it. We just went in and recorded. It's always easy work, you know, with me and Preem. It's nothing. We go in there and we come up with something, and then we send it out, and, you know, they used it how they see fit, you know. So, you know, like, if they want to release the full thing, that's kind of like up to them, I guess.
So speaking of Preem, Jalad Hickson said, is there going to be another Prime album?
Definitely. Me and Preem are actually going in April. Okay. We're going to start recording for Prime and see where it goes. As long as it just keeps feeling organic and natural, I'll do 50 Primes. You know what I mean? So, you know, right now, it feels great. It's one of the funner things for me to do in my career right now, to go in with Preem. So that's definitely something I look forward to doing in April. That's when his schedule kind of frees up, and that's when mine kind of frees up too. So.
Cool. So Pablo Diaz asks, will you ever do a track with M and Elshad together?
I would love to. Yeah. I'm surprised that hasn't happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, the only place I could see that that kind of track existing is like on the Bad Meets Evil album. That's the only time I could see that kind of conversation even coming up.
So speaking of Bad Meets Evil, Gary Henry asked, what's up with Bad Meets Evil? You guys gonna do another one?
I mean, I would love to. It's just a timing thing. You know, like Marshall he's been in the studio and not really that responsive. You know, I'll hit him up, and he's not calling me back as quick as he used to, which tells me that's every indicator that he's busy doing something. I don't know what he's doing. So, you know, like, you never know with that guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, like once everything frees up with what I'm doing, you know, if I happen to go up there and we end up just recording some songs, because that's how the first one happened. Okay. We were just kind of like around each other. We just started recording songs. And then we ended up with a body of work like, yo, what are we going to do with this? Yeah. That can happen again. It's just going to be a timing thing.
Right.
We never planned it. We never like, yo, let's do Bad Meets Evil. It's not that kind of thing.
Organic.
Yeah, yeah.
So Zia Karim, and I want to read this because it's a deep question. He says, Zia Karim Jr., how do you thrive being sober in this industry where drinks are almost a necessity? He says that he's sober and that it's hurt his networking opportunities for advancing and making friends. And, you know, he wants your advice on just how to navigate being sober.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell somebody, you know what I mean? Like, this business is so, that you said, that's crazy, because it's like you start to think that you need to drink and you need to do all of this shit in order to navigate the business, you know, and you don't. You hinder every aspect of it by doing it if you're wired like that. If you're one of the kinds of people that can have a couple of drinks and exist and be fine and not wake up the next day like, yo, I gotta continue on from last night, because that's how I am. Like, I'm wired that way, you know, like, and it's not just with liquor, it's with everything. You know, I go on binges with everything, whether it be snacks. And, you know, some people are wired like addicts, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be mindful of that, and you gotta be mindful of the things that can harm you, and not just this business, but any business, you know? So, my advice would be to just, you gotta cut that out first. You gotta cut that out. And you got to cut it out without even thinking about moving forward in the business. You got to cut it out thinking about moving forward in your life, period. You know what I'm saying? And you got to put you first. Rather you taking time off from the business, you got to take that time to get yourself right and get yourself mentally healthy before you can even proceed in life. You know, and once you get yourself to that point, it'll be a lot easier for you to figure everything else out. You won't have to ask me any question. You'll be thinking so clear, and you'll be seeing everything for what it is, and it'll be the best thing for you.
And what about the peer pressure? You know, because it is, you're in a bar, everybody's drinking, you go to a dinner, everybody's drinking. How did you handle that at first?
Well, it's a follower's market, you know. Everything is driven by leaders. You know what I mean? Fans may follow fans, but they like to follow the trendsetters. You know, so if you're following everybody around and drinking because they're drinking, then you don't have the right mind frame for the business anyway. You know, so you just gotta, like I said, you gotta put you first. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You're not like everybody else. If you think like an addict, or if you're an addict, you're automatically different from other people. You know what I mean? That's what people need to realize. So you can't follow and do what other people do. If me and you are wired different and we at the bar and you have 2 drinks and you cool, but I can't have 2 drinks, why am I comparing myself to what you do? We obviously different. Something is different in our minds. And that's how I look at it. I don't follow, I don't worry about what other people is doing. I don't even go out to bars and party and shit unless I need to go promote something. And when I go there, I have a good time, and then I go home. When I was drinking, I used to have a good time and not go home. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the difference. So.
Yeah. So Rio Levite says, do you feel like you've achieved everything as a rapper, or is there something that you still want to do?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just in the space that I'm in life right now is I just want to do cool shit. I want to surround myself with cool people who are about business, and I want to do cool projects, you know what I'm saying, and just do the kind of music I want to do. I don't want to have long conversations with people about fucking record sales and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have fun with music. I've been around for 15 years. I never worked a day in my life outside of what I do in hip hop. You know, that's a blessing. It's a blessing for me to be around that long and still be what I am right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of what I have. I'm proud of what I've achieved. I don't think about, could I have achieved more? I don't think about none of that shit. I just move forward and have fun. So, you know, and that's pretty much where I'm at.
So what can we expect from your Dilla weekend on Friday in Miami?
Well, I definitely got to do some Dilla shit. I got to do some Dilla shit, and you know, I'm just gonna keep it hip hop. I'm gonna have a lot of fun, you know, and I'm gonna be up there like I'm proud to be up there representing for my brother. You know what I'm saying? Representing for Dilla. You know, it's a proud thing for us. Anybody that's from Detroit, you know what I'm saying? We just glad to be there. My DJ TJ is from Detroit. He also DJs for J Electronica. You know what I'm saying? He'll be there. That's another rap juggernaut. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing Bun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, and I'm gonna go up there and try to kill my set. I'm gonna try to kill everybody.
Dope. We're looking forward to it, man. We're going to cover it. We'll be including the highlights. You can go to jdillaweekend.com, find out information, buy tickets. But I appreciate you, man.
For sure.
No doubt.
Good to see you, brother.
Later.